What
You were right.
about?
So the whole thing about me doing every drug in the world, if a meteor was coming, it's a possibility we can stop that attack. I saw it earlier this week. I saw it live. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah,
So NASA put out this uh, thing called DART, so it's, like a satellite.
yeah.
They found an asteroid and they wanted to see if they can make a direct hit, and it was successful.
You know,
So, so you were right. I should not do every drug in the world, and I'm not going to at this point in life. We figured it out. So yeah, let's not even let's act like that didn't happen.
and away we go. Is that's it, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, we are recording now, so all right, let's get started. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tony Hadnot, aka the Nocturnist, and I'm here with my bro,
Kinfolk, and we are
Super Hadnot Bros. And we are a podcast where we talk about literally nothing because a
for
conversation
sure,
about
for sure.
nothing is a conversation about any and everything. So hope you guys enjoy the show. So anyway,
Yeah,
what's been up? I see that I
ain't
just froze
nothing,
up on
man.
you.
I did have to say one thing as soon as we start.
What?
You were right.
About?
So the whole thing about me doing every drug in the world, if a meteor was coming, it's a possibility we can stop that attack. I saw it earlier this week. I saw it live. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So NASA put out this thing called DART, so it's, like a satellite.
Yeah.
They found an asteroid and they wanted to see if they can make a direct hit, and it was successful.
You know.
So you were right. I should not do every drug in the world, and I'm not going to at this point in life. We figured it out. So yeah, let's not even let's act like that didn't happen.
Nah, it's all over the internet now, buddy.
It's fine. Nah. It's fine.
No, that's funny you say that because really and truly, NASA always be doing stuff like that. Like they see like there's asteroids out there. I mean, I guess that's why they put out these like super expensive, like sophisticated telescopes and stuff so they can kind of watch what's going on in outer space. But yeah, man, I mean they see that stuff all the time.
I get it. I know it's out there. What I'm saying is I saw it live. Like the last 10 minutes of the experiment or project that they were doing to see if it'll work. This was a test run.
Right.
So when you could see it when it started, it was like this big.
Right.
And it just kept doing this.
The asteroid?
Yeah, because it was coming. We were going towards it. It was coming towards us.
It was going to collide. Right.
Yeah. And then they were so excited when it hit. I don't know what happened. And I'm pretty sure the thing exploded. Our satellite that we sent out there. But still, knowing that may be possible, no fentanyl for me.
All I'm saying is just stick to weed.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, no fentanyl. I'm not gonna shoot up. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do none of that stuff. I'm just gonna.
So you all heard it. He's not gonna do the incredible amount of drugs that probably would have killed him in one day anyway.
I understand. I'm just saying, if it was a possibility, that was the only reason I would do it. But since I know that may not even happen because we can avoid that,
right?
I'm out of there. I'm out the race.
Right. Yeah. Well,
So I just wanted to get that. I wanted to get that out first.
Just go ahead and get that out your chest.
Because you were extremely right. Because I've never even thought about like, what if we could stop it? I was just going for the drugs.
All I'm saying is it's 2022, and on top of that, look. They don't make these movies for no reason. Movies like Armageddon and what was the other one? Deep Impact and all that. Think about it. If somebody had the brain, this is how I look at it, especially when it comes to like entertainment, with movies or whatever. Everything that these come up with in these movies, everything they come up with in these movies, definitely somebody had to think about it. So there's always going to be some sort of, now, although the people who make the movies may not necessarily be the scientists and you know, they look into the intricacies and details of it all, but at the end of the day, they come up with the concepts, and then the concepts start putting stuff in people's head, and they'd be like, but what if? Because I mean, if you think about it, a movie like Impact or Deep Impact or Armageddon, that shit can happen.
I
you
get
know
it.
what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so but we get, you know, things are possible, but
Right.
Are they just trying to mind fuck us and tell us to be prepared? Or are they just like trying to water it down so when it does happen, nobody really cares?
No, I don't think it's. I'm going with the former, but I'll say this: I can't really answer that question because it's case by case scenario. Every movie got a different story, and every situation is different. But let's take movies like Saw, for instance.
Okay, somebody can actually do that though.
So, some crazy motherfucker can go out there, come up with all these contraptions and puzzles and riddles and all this stuff to make people do, I guess, the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to come up with that. So I'm just saying, like,
would you think that would be a good form of punishment for people who do bad?
I think it's
if they said, hey, you got the option, you can go to prison or you can go to Saw.
Yeah, but see, I mean, the thing about Saw is that, yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, when you watch the movies and you start to see how it really all works, it could be a simple way out. But I mean, come on, the average person ain't thinking. They're gonna always overthink.
None of them had a real simple way out. They had to endure some type of pain to get out.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, it could be a lot. It could have been less worse. Like the one, I can't remember which one it was, but it was one they had to fill up this thing with blood to like get the key or whatever. And it was like one dude that stuck his whole hand in there and gave up all his blood and basically killed himself, when it could have been everybody that was in the room to give just a little bit of blood to solve the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it makes sense, but you get 8 people together. How many times are 8 people gonna say we're gonna cut our finger?
That's my point. That's my point. Yeah. It's a big riddle. It's a big puzzle. So Jigsaw's idea was, I mean, he was super duper smart. You know what I'm saying? Coming up with the ideas and knowing that the people was gonna fuck up, but that was the whole thing. It was like, that still makes him like the bad guy in a sense, because it was like, yeah, these people might have fucked up, but he knew that he was going to murder these people anyway. Well, indirectly, in a way, I guess, because he wasn't really there.
They kind of did it to themselves.
They kind of did it to themselves, but he was the one that kidnapped them and had, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so
the contraptions killed them,
right?
But if they just would have did whatever, yeah. So he's still to blame.
But that's my whole thing. He knew that these people wasn't gonna think the way that he thinks. So
was he wrong though?
Wrong in what sense?
Do you know why he started doing this stuff?
I can't remember why.
Something happened with his daughter.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't remember either. But anyway, I'm just saying sometimes villains be having a point. So we were having a discussion about it yesterday, and so now that we here, we can go ahead and kind of go into it or whatever.
100%. The villain. Okay, so that's the thing. That's what I mean. Really, if you think about it, though, with superhero movies, especially like in MCU, or better yet, the Batman movies. As a matter of fact, anytime a new superhero movie comes out, it's like when it's really strictly superheroes.
Right.
What's the first question? Who's gonna be the villain?
Because you got to have a good villain, though.
Well, it's not that. It's just that the villain is always going to be more interesting than the hero. Because if you think about it, the hero is the most boring person in the story.
Villains look cooler. They got cooler powers. Like, it's always going to be better.
Well, because, you know, the villain is nothing but the mirror image of the superhero. So that means in every way. Well, what I'm saying is, it's like the hero villain dynamic is like the yin yang. So they're one and the same, but yet they're different. So it's
because you know they always say, we not that different, you and I. They always say that or whatever.
But it's true.
They do that all the time.
It's always true. They're always one and the same, but they're different. So the villain always has to mirror the superhero in a weird way. So like he's always gonna look cooler. believe it or not, he's always going to be stronger. If you really think about it, the villain is always stronger because he has to be able to present a challenge. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, and he has to have a justifiable reason as to what he's doing. See,
unless you're the Joker.
But no, because the Joker, that's what makes Joker. Actually, okay, let's go ahead and get into that. Come on. That's what makes Joker the ultimate villain, is because it's the same dynamic. Batman and the Joker are exactly the same, except that the Joker embraces who he is, where the Batman doesn't. Because see, the Batman isn't Bruce Wayne pretending to be Batman. He's actually Batman pretending to be Bruce Wayne. So everybody that Batman puts in jail and do all this other stuff, all he's doing is just putting himself in jail because they're the ones who are not afraid to showcase who they really are. Because people, Batman is insane. Think about it. He run around in a fucking bat suit. If we're gonna keep it 100%, like let's take Batman out of the equation of just superheroes in general. He's a regular dude. Fucked around and saw his parents get killed by somebody, and he runs around in a bat
suit. Don't say fucked around like he did it on purpose. Like
I'm just saying,
like he walked into a room.
That was just casual statement.
Right, but I don't want to make it seem like he just happened to stumble across this or whatever.
Yeah, no. I'm saying like he had like, I mean, when you look at it from his perspective, he had every reason to go insane. But think about how insane he was. He dedicated his entire life to becoming extremely smart, to becoming extremely strong, and he used his resources to create all these like high-tech gadgets and all this other stuff to fund basically his superhero, I don't even call him a superhero in this case, his vigilante career. So it makes sense, but he wears a bat, like he wears a fucking, come on, who runs around in public in a bat suit going, I'm Batman? You know what I'm saying? Like
everybody didn't have a Batman voice, so it's fine.
But what I'm saying is he literally changes his voice. Like that's fucking insanity, bro.
But can we not blame Alfred for this?
Alfred's a little crazy too for like letting a fucking kid run his life and
he was a horrible godparent, bro.
Like, I mean, I guess
he allowed this to happen and he helped out. He was like, oh, you want to be a superhero? I got you. You want a costume? I'll find somebody for that. You need food? Got you. You need me to stitch you up? Got you. Go out there, keep doing this every day. He's a horrible godparent. If something was to happen to me, and my kids' godparents let them be superheroes and get beat up every night after night, I'm blaming them, bro. It's their fault because he started this shit when he was a kid.
Yeah, if we're gonna look at it in the real world, Alfred fucked up. Because the truth of the matter is,
so now it's Alfred's fault.
It is Alfred's fault. It's 100% Alfred's fault, because if this was rooted in the real, if this was real world, not even fake real world,
right?
Like if this was real world, he should have fucking got therapy. That's what he should have fucking did. He should have got therapy and moved past it.
The money and funds to help him go through this as a kid, through teens and all this stuff. He didn't do it. Simple. He just like, oh, you want to kill people? Got you.
You know what?
Well, he didn't kill, but you want to go beat the shit out of people? Got you. He did a few times, but it wasn't like on purpose.
So the truth of the matter is, if you really want to keep it 100, Batman ain't nobody but Dexter.
Yeah, man.
He's Dexter.
Dexter's way precise about what he's doing.
Dexter may be way precise about what he's doing, but tell me it's not the same scenario.
Possibly, yes, but
it's exactly the same scenario. Okay, here's the story.
But he found a job that he was really good at.
But doesn't make it right.
Kill people.
But doesn't make it right.
Never said that. All I'm saying is that it's a difference. Dexter knew what he was doing at all times. When Batman killed people on accident. Now he beat the shit out of you.
It's not even about killing at this point. It's about moving outside of the freaking law. That's what Batman does. I mean, really think about it.
But like, every hero does that.
Every hero does that. But I mean, okay. Let's take Batman and let's take Superman.
Okay.
Batman could really just get arrested. If you found a cop good enough, he can get arrested. What the police gonna do to fucking Superman?
Gordon.
No. What are the police gonna do to Superman?
I get it. I'm saying if you said a cop that was good enough, Gordon can actually arrest this man.
He probably could, but my point is, Batman he's human. He could
Right.
get arrested,
Okay,
go to
so
jail.
okay, to answer your question, if somebody wants to go arrest Superman, he turns into Homelander.
Who's home? Is that from like one of them cartoons? Is this from Invincible or something? The Boys?
Yes.
I never watched it, so don't fault me for that. All I'm saying is,
hey man, cut this part out.
No, I'm not. No. All I'm saying is Batman can get arrested and Superman can't.
Yeah.
Like the police, what they gonna do? Hey, Superman, you're under arrest. Bang, bang, bang. Just so the bullets can fucking fall off of him and be like.
According to every DC fan, Batman can get away with anything. So it's fine.
I mean, yes, in what we call the DC universe, 100%, right. I agree with that. But if you're gonna look at it at a much more realistic level, you know, as boring as fucking Superman is, the police cannot stop him. I mean, well, no. unless they give him kryptonite, but even that we've heard that it was admitted that it was a mental.
It's thing. Not a real thing. We all know.
So if Superman really was mind strong enough, he'd be like, stupid green rock.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you know. So
the only difference between him and Homelander is that he uses his fist. Homelander just used the little laser eyes or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go watch all it. Like
you far behind.
I'm stupid far behind. I haven't even watched all of Invincible. All I remember was the first episode of Invincible, which everything that happened, I was not expecting to happen in the first episode.
Notice how serious my face got.
It got really serious. I'm sorry, but that's besides the point. But
we'll talk about this one off camera. But no, that's the only difference between them two. But that is a weird thing with movies and stuff that I've been realizing, because I told you about yesterday. I watched that podcast with Big Ja.
Yeah,
and Big Tone. Is a podcast called Blackbusters, and they do movie reviews on every like hood classic, but not like, you know, some of the ratchet ones. It's just the stuff we like The Wood, Love Jones, Love and Basketball.
The ones that did, they may not have gotten like crazy wide attention, but it was wide enough for like the black community to identify.
Right.
And it's not like on some not even I Got the Hookup, but let's say like Belly 2.
Right. They haven't got to that part yet. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get there, but right now they've just been talking about some of the ones that put us in a better light than like Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society.
Right.
But they were talking about the characters and who were the real villains. And we talked about that point on the last one about Friday, that Big Worm was actually the full-on gangster.
Yeah.
He threatened their life. He sent people to go kill him. They shot at them and everything.
Yeah, he was not the funny guy.
Debo,
at all.
Debo was your neighborhood bully who just fought everybody, but somehow he was still cool with everybody. Like, everybody be like, "What's up, Debo?" Like, he can pull up to your crib and chill. He was shooting dice with Red and them before he knocked him out.
He wasn't a funny guy either. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it.
He wasn't, but he wasn't gonna kill you. He was just gonna knock you the fuck out.
He just gonna knock you out a couple times. Man, my eyes like itching crazy. Man, I made some shrimp mac and cheese, and I think the seasoning is still on my hands, even though I washed them. And like I'm rubbing my eye like an idiot. Yeah, it happens. But anyway, I'm listening.
But they were talking about what was the last one they talked about?
I think you said it was no, I think you said it was
one with Sanaa Lathan and Tay Diggs.
Brown Sugar.
And they were basically saying that their characters were just trash ass people because they both, they fell in love with music at the beginning and like at the same time early in their life. Then they separated, went off, did this and that or whatever, but they were still cool. They were like best of friends. And then Tay Diggs' character is about to get married. He didn't got engaged and everything.
Yeah.
And it's now pull up, they doing all kind of stuff together. And then she
the night
gets
before
engaged.
his wedding.
Yeah, the night before the wedding, she kissed him.
Yeah, they almost got busy. Yeah.
But then when she got engaged, he got in his feelings, and then they caught his wife cheating and blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, they just they trash ass people, but they somehow made it to where it was a happy ending. And it made me start thinking about other people who were in those movies and who is the true villain.
Yeah, 100%.
So you need to actually take a step back sometimes when you look at it and be like, damn,
and look at it from a much more realistic standpoint, not so much because fairy tale romance bullshit. Yeah. Right.
Because
I get it.
They were talking about they really just didn't like Sanaa Lathan as an actress, but they really loved Nia Long. But she went on The Best Man. And to The Best Man, she knew he was about to get engaged, or he was he engaged in the first one?
No, he was, but he was serious. He was very serious with her.
Okay, I knew
they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah,
but it was deep. It was deep.
She was like, "Come get these cheeks one night only. You can come get these cheeks. Yeah. I know you got a chick back home, and I know she coming tomorrow." She gonna look at this woman in the face after she done got cheeks, but
so let's go ahead and but you know what's even more fucked up about it? She did that shit in the church, fam.
She did. She said it in the church. You right.
She did it, kissed them. They committed adultery in the church.
She a toot at this point, man.
Say what?
She a toot at this point.
100%, 100%. But nah, I get that. I 100% agree. 100% agree with that. Sometimes the protagonist, well, maybe a lot of times the protagonist is really like a shitty guy, or a shitty girl, a shitty person. They're just not good people. But the storytelling makes it warps it in a way to where it is a good story.
But what makes it to where we just look past it, because in reality, they are really trash ass people, but we still somehow like the characters
because it's called great execution. The writers, the creators.
That is the key right there.
Yes, it's great execution. It's all about, you got to think about the tone of voices, the way the characters are personified. Because even to an extent, even people who are so-called good natured,
right,
can still do fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So, I think it's just all about the execution at the end of the day, how you put it together. It's all about how you package. It's like going to the store and buying the new hypest food that people are raving about, and then you go try and the shit just gross as hell. But because it come in a pretty package and so on and so forth, and they market it well,
to have it.
You have to try it. So I think it's just kind of like that in a weird, twisted kind of way. That's how I look at it. I don't know.
So how many of them, now that we didn't brought that up, can you think about who were just trash ass people in the actual villain in movies that we didn't really pay attention to like that?
Marcus Graham. But he kind of got what he had coming to him too.
Well, wouldn't he be like the villain in himself, basically?
But he was the villain in the movie because, see, they make it seem all nice because he had been on and so forth, but he kind of fucked over Halle Berry really, really bad.
She trifling too, though.
She was with the homie. She was with the homie.
She met his parents.
They went on a date. She met the parents. They even kissed on the first date.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, when Marcus had after Marcus and Jacqueline got busy for the first time, and remember he went into the office while them two were having girl talk.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, Gerard hit it." She was like, "I wouldn't let Gerard hit it if he had a baseball bat." And on top of all that, she did admit that she liked him.
So at this point, all of them was trash.
The only good guy I saw in this movie was Martin.
Gina? Well, not Gina. What was her name in the movie?
Shit, I can't think of her name, but I know
Because she tried to warn all of them.
You talking about? She was also a good person in the movie.
She was
absolutely
even
right.
though she was ghetto about it, she tried to help him.
But see, again, that goes into how you package the deal, because she was one of the most honest people in the show.
She was,
but they made her look bad because she had a foul mouth and a catty attitude. So, judging a book by its cover, it makes it look like she's bad, but she wasn't a bad person at all.
If they would have listened, they all wouldn't have got kicked out because they had bad feet.
This is 100% true.
Which is trifling in itself, or whatever. Because
dang, man, he
care
was
about your feet like that or whatever. Just don't. I mean, don't be like half-footed, but right.
And here's the other thing: I can't even be mad at Robin Givens in the movie, because when you really think about it, she was mad honest. Even after they smashed, and she was like, "I'll get back to you." She was just basically saying, like, "Yo, this is what it is." But what was he doing? He was out here buying leashes for $20. This nigga desperate as fuck. This nigga is desperate as hell.
What he said, take it, fool.
He was desperate as hell. This nigga went and paid somebody $20 for a leash just to go pull a chick to get her in bed, only to diss her because she had shitty feet.
And she was tough. She was tough.
You know what? That used to be my favorite movie of all time.
Nah, see, we got a different perspective.
No, it still is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, it's not going to change anything.
Yeah, no,
whatever. So it is what it is.
But like now, looking at it from that aspect, the only time I actually saw him be really honest in the movie was when he actually approached Robin Givens, when he told her that she was the most beautiful woman he ever. Now that I think about this nigga slept his way, he tried to sleep his way to a position that he didn't even get.
Well, he tried to with Lady Eloise. But
that was the whole reason.
Right.
That was the whole reason she went with him, because but the fact of the matter is, he felt like, I mean, really, if you think about it that way, not only was he trash because he lied, but he was a desperate dude.
Did he get Epstein? Who was it? Weinstein. Did he get Weinstein?
Damn, he did.
He did, because he didn't even get the job.
He didn't even get the job.
Somebody already had the job. She didn't even have control over it.
Yeah. Man, that's a foul ass dude. that does take it to a different perspective. But then I think yesterday we also talked about House Party. Kid and Shireen were the worst two people in that fucking movie.
Would you call them toxic though?
I don't know if toxic is the word, but trifling, absolutely, 100%, because they both did the same exact thing to each other. They did the same exact thing to their friends and to each other. Now, Play probably didn't give a shit so much. Play was just kind of like, Play was the honest person. He was like, look, I'm just trying to smash. I'm trying to smash somebody.
Because he wasn't even just trying to smash them two. He was trying to smash everybody.
He was just trying to smash. He was just like, I'm trying to get the chicks. But Kid, on the other hand, he was in the party. He was all over Shireen. Even when they went upstairs to go walk home, he was kissing, trying to get all up on her. She wouldn't give him time today. And then when he walked both of them home, he got to know Sydney.
Yeah.
But then Shireen did the same thing so Shireen really is the most fucked up person.
Yeah, because Play knew he was gonna get her just to get Kid out of jail.
Because she played Kid and tried to get the Play, but then played her best friend. Whereas Kid only played Sydney.
Right.
You know,
but they both still trifling though.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, Shireen was horrible. She was horrible.
What do you think Shireen would have been at, like, if she would have been in like the other one?
Tyree's mama.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would bring Rain somewhere and cooking breakfast in the kitchen.
Pretty much. But see, Ving Rhames, he would have been the dude that would have been like, I don't want your money. I want to kick your ass.
And look, I'm speaking purely from surface value here.
Right.
She was the project girl.
She was.
That
means she got a million people in a 1-bedroom apartment.
So what I'm saying is, if you really want to put the two together, the timing makes total sense. She got hella pregnant right after House Party 1.
Okay.
And then had Tyrese. I don't know. That's just a crack. That's a crackpot theory to me. I don't know. I don't know. But
you make sense.
I mean, to me, Shireen didn't just seem very college bound. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man, I'll take it.
She didn't seem college bound. She seemed like she was gonna get pregnant and baby boy.
it just happens like that, man.
But yeah, man, nah, the movies have a weird way of telling these stories and great. But I mean, at the end of the day, is that really a bad thing? Because ultimately, I think this is just storytelling 101. The protagonist does always have to have a flaw. At the end of the day, it's just that they only focus on certain flaws.
Yeah.
So because I mean, you know how every story has to go. It always kind of has to go up. It has to plateau. Then it has to have a downfall.
Yeah.
Then it has to have a climax, and then it has a happily ever after. So
right, but it's like flaw, some of them they really be trifling, like Love and Basketball. Hey, dude was hella mean to her and selfish as shit. Like he pushed her down when they first met because she was good at basketball. Gave her a scar for the rest of her life. Yeah. Then when they got in high school, he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick you up and bring you home because you live next door, but you go watch me talk to all the homegirls and the chicks, and then I'm not gonna pay you no mind." But the moment she got with dude, he was like, "Oh, she kind of fly."
Wait, was this before they smashed?
They smashed afterwards. After he thought she was kind of fly at the dance.
Oh, he couldn't have got. Then he shouldn't have got mad.
But then when they got into college, he was mad over some stuff his daddy did and took it out on her because she had to go to the dorms. She had curfew. But she was really, honestly, she was like, "You can talk to me and tell me what's wrong." He was like, "Nah, I don't feel like doing it."
Yeah.
Then he brought the other homegirl over there and was like, "Hey, meet such and such, meet her." And we're just like, "You want to come? We finna go get something. You want to come?"
But there are some movies where the good guy or the protagonist, whatever you want to call them, kind of does get called on this shit. I mean, Boomerang is kind of one of them, but like you see it from a different perspective. We already talked about it. We were talking so much about his desperation, not so much about him just being a player. Although that all kind of comes together anyways. Right. But the one movie I'm thinking about is the best man.
Yes.
That we talked about earlier. Like, oh, they called him on his shit in that movie. Oh, they called him on his shit big time in that movie. Huh?
He wrote a book.
He had that coming. You know what? That nigga did that shit to himself.
He wrote a book.
He did that to
stupid details about how he smashed his best friend's fiance.
You know, and that's the crazy part. Because I know that tell-all stories do exist in real life, but usually those tell-all stories always go out after the person has had the conversations with all parties involved with whatever happened. So maybe he fucked. Not gonna say maybe he did fuck up by not just clearing the air. He should have handled that shit a long time. Matter of fact, he should have handled that shit
when he introduced them.
He should have handled that shit right after they smashed, because really it probably wouldn't have hit as hard, because at the end of the day, Morris Chestnut's character was kind of a player. He was a football star.
But he met her after they smashed.
No, he didn't. He didn't. If you think about the story right.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
They met in the news.
I thought it was because he introduced them and he had already smashed. And just didn't tell him. Or was
No.
Morris Chestnut did something.
No. Okay. So if you think about the story, I mean, of course, this is all like stuff you don't see, but according to the movie, they met in the newsroom, right?
Right.
At the college place.
Right.
That's when they got introduced.
Yeah.
But then if you remember another flashback, I guess Morris Chestnut and old girl were dating. And remember, he was crying because he got found out.
Right.
So they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and then old girl was kind of.
You so right, bro. Yeah, he did smash the homie's girl.
He smashed her after the fact. So it should have just been something more to the extent of, hey, look, man, bro, Like right after it happened, he should have just handled the situation right then and there and just been like, yo, look, this is what happened. Your girl came up on me, you know, one thing led to another. My bad, bro. He still probably would got his ass beat, but it probably wouldn't have been as bad as like being hung over the rail on your homeboy's wedding day because he didn't found the story out. So what he did was he hit it to himself. They should have had the conversation, and then he should have wrote the fucking tell-all book because the air is cleared at that point, and fair game is fair game.
Okay, now think about this. We was talking about the villains, right?
Yeah.
What was her name? Mia?
Yeah. Oh, definitely a villain.
The villain. Because even when Morris Chestnut character came and talked to her, she was like, he was a friend that came to love me and comfort me. And she never apologized. No. She never apologized. She was just like, you're not going nowhere. So chill out. And that's all he did.
No. So yeah, like, and she, I mean, if you look at the story, she pushed up on him.
But she never apologized to none of them. She was just like, it happened. So because I needed a friend, I needed somebody to comfort me, and he was there to give me the D.
So do you think that in Best Man 2, maybe Karma was a bitch?
No, because she was still the one that everybody loved. Everybody cried when she died.
No. I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about all that. What? Based on what she did, based on her not apologizing, do you feel like Karma was a bitch?
No.
How so? You don't think she got what she deserved?
I wouldn't deserve. Everybody's cheated.
Hey, karma comes in weird ways, bro.
Everybody's cheated.
Karma comes in weird ways.
You shouldn't get the death penalty for cheating.
Some people apologize for it though.
She didn't though. So you know what?
That's all I'm saying.
She deserved it. You're right.
I mean, I ain't trying to wish nothing on nobody. All I'm saying is, if she didn't apologize about it and just and knowing that her now husband knows about this,
and she told him that she needed that comfort while he was crying. He was hella vulnerable at that moment, and she was like, "Yeah, your friend came and comforted me and gave me the deal."
But on the same token, he did cheat on her first. Not to justify, but I'm just saying.
He didn't cheat with she didn't cheat with none of her best friends. Or so here's the thing. This was his best friend.
No, but here's the thing though. He still cheated on her. So maybe the karma came back on him when she cheated on him. But maybe at some point, maybe he cleared the air with her prior to them getting married because he had got found out. So apparently something had to happen. They got married.
It was after she cheated when he vowed to never do it again.
Right. So I'm saying like he got found out at some point, I guess, because ultimately, if he didn't get found out, they wouldn't have never got married. So they had to have cleared the air at some point. So he had to have followed. I'm sorry. I think he had to have.
I'm never gonna see these movies the same again.
You won't. But all I'm saying is maybe due to her doing the same thing with his best friend and then not apologizing about it, even after the fact it got found out. 6 feet under, baby. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling you, you know how hard it is not to just agree with it, bro. I want to so bad, but it just sounds fucked up. But you know what? It's a movie, so yeah, she deserved it.
I mean, it's not real life, but I mean, maybe she kind of deserved that shit.
I'm just right.
Gotta think about this shit, bro.
Now, the craziest thing, now that we talking about her and how trifling she is, and in these movies, she was trifling in Players Club.
Here's another Tony Hadnot crackpot theory.
I know, that's why I threw it out there. Come on, pick it up. I gave you the alley-oop. Pick it up.
She was a stripper before she went to college.
You know what I'm saying?
Because had she not got raped that night, she wouldn't have gone to college. It changed her life. Okay, hold on. We're not condoning the R word by any means. I'm not saying that. Totally
just
against it.
Two and two together.
But we're looking at the movie. We're talking about fiction here. She tried to do the fast life. It didn't work out so well for her because something happened to her.
Now she college, good girl.
She went to go work in the shoe store, work her way through college. She met a football star, but sometimes those tendencies, they still linger in there.
Had a whole moment.
Players fuck up sometimes.
They do.
That's all I'm saying.
But you know what? I figured you was gonna put it together. I'm telling you, man, in there.
That's why they put these people in these movies like that, man. Look, now you're sitting there thinking about the next movie, ain't you? You're thinking about the next two that go together.
I'm like, man, we got to, because there's some more that's in there.
See, that's hard to do though, because we're on the spot, we live on air. So we can't slow the conversation down by trying to think about it. But
still, it makes sense.
But I like the way you think, though. I like the way you think.
She ruined all kind of families and shit, man. She ruined her cousin family.
Man, fuck Hollywood.
Man, you remember how mad that dude was with her when he came and grabbed his jacket and just left?
Oh, at the beginning of the movie?
Hey, I don't care. That was one of the funniest things I ever seen in my life because he didn't say nothing. No,
that's mad. That's you.
They were watching a movie. He got up.
It's like how mad do you
out?
It's like how mad do you have to be? And now that I say that, it makes me think about the conversation we had way before we even started recording this podcast. Okay. Was the conversation about the Arnold Schwarzenegger video? A lot of people, people. If you haven't watched this video, I don't know how old. I think it's a little old, but I just found out about it a couple months ago. And it was a video of Arnold Schwarzenegger somewhere out of town and out of the country, and he was trying to take a selfie or do a video.
He went to school gym.
In a school gym, and this dude ran behind him and did a drop kick and kicked him. So I read the YouTube, you know, when you go on YouTube, it's something about the comments that make the video so much better.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people in the comments were basically saying things to the extent of they were saying stuff like, "Oh, look at that. He did a drop kick and he barely even moved him." But my crazy ass, I was sitting there thinking about, how mad does a motherfucker have to be to go drop kick somebody? Because
the funny thing about that drop kick, he didn't even take like a full running start.
No, you just see like the little head bobbing behind him, and then you just see like his feet, he just fall to the ground. So it's like,
if there's any way you can find that clip and put it in the link, like in the description or whatever,
I will put it on YouTube when we do the It'll look. I'm knocking my own L sign over just because how crazy that was. But yeah, it's like, I mean, you know how mad you have to be to do a drop kick to somebody? Because I'm just thinking realistically here. If we're in a street fight together,
right,
and that's not the first move I'm thinking about. Why?
No,
because
never.
It has way too much recovery time. Wait, can I hear me?
Yeah.
I can barely hear you. Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Yep.
Hang on, y'all. Technical difficulties.
It's happening. It's happening right now, real time. Yeah, I get it. When you talk about recovery time, I'm just gonna keep talking about it. Cause you hear me?
Hold on, Keenan. Hold on.
Oh,
shit. Hello?
Yeah.
Something went off with my headphones. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I'll just go without the headphones today.
Okay. But what I was saying, without the recovery time, yeah, that does suck. But once you actually make contact and kick somebody with both feet, you are going to hit the ground and actually put pain on yourself.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, is like the recovery is horrible.
Yeah.
You fell down, and on top of that, like once you're on the ground, you didn't hurt yourself once, and now you're about to take a beat down because there's no way of coming back from that. The only time you use a drop kick is in professional fake ass wrestling.
Yes, that's the only way it works.
Yeah, so no, I'm just saying, if you're in a street fight and you got to resort to a drop kick, you got to be pretty goddamn upset.
You probably shouldn't be fighting.
You shouldn't be fighting at all.
It's like a headbutt.
It's like martial arts. You know, when people take martial arts, a dumb motherfucker who think they know martial arts is gonna try to do the shit that they see on TV. Try to do some Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris shit. And it's like that's
every movie we've seen where somebody think they can do what they saw on TV. what happens? They instantly get dropped.
They get dropped. So it's like, no, I'm not saying that all of it isn't effective. All I'm saying is all of it isn't effective.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? All of it ain't effective. Like, I'm not gonna try to roundhouse kick somebody in a street fight. I might be able to front kick you. Hell, I might even be able to side kick you. But I ain't about to do a spinning roundhouse on your ass. That's way too much.
Peter Griffin did it 98 times in one episode.
Huh?
Peter Griffin did it 98 times in one episode.
Yeah, it's also called a fucking cartoon.
True enough. So don't do it.
Roadhouse.
But I did want to talk about the whole DJ academic stuff, or what he said about the old schools being dusty.
Yeah,
because I saw some more information on it or whatever. I still got my same opinion. But,
okay.
Give me your assessment on that.
Okay, so what DJ Academic said, and we talked about this yesterday too. If we go based off of that 30-second clip alone, you have every right to be mad at him, because he did say that like it does come off as if the guys who like pioneered hip hop didn't bring any value to it because they didn't have any money. In which LL responded by saying, you can't judge that. You just because these guys don't have the money in the bank didn't mean that they didn't bring value to the culture, you know, which is 100% true. But like I said, I watched that Breakfast Club interview that they did with DJ Academics yesterday. And he said, well, yeah, if you look at that video, yes, I'm gonna be the bad guy, like, because you're only seeing like I told you yesterday. I kind of make that equate to like somebody reading a headline to a story, and not reading the story. So of course, a headline is gonna always bring shock value and make people automatically form opinions off of a story that they don't fully understand. And he did say that was like a 5-hour long conversation, or however long it was. You know, talking about that. And I think what he was saying was that, you know, these guys don't have anything to learn from, and they didn't be able to, I don't want to be quoted wrong on this, but basically like they didn't pass down anything good to the younger guys that were coming into the game at the time. And so I guess that's what was his whole idea. Okay. You'll have to watch the Breakfast Club interview to make more sense of it. But
I hear that or whatever, but the difference is they didn't have nothing to pass down, because whenever they started getting everything going, they got a portion of it. So there was nothing that they can actually pass down. They started getting other people who was willing to sell their soul, basically, to go ahead and start making that money and doing everything that they're doing to this day. They started doing clothing. They started doing commercials. They started doing all that.
Right.
But that wasn't available to them, so they couldn't pass that down.
Yeah. No, this is clearly before the commercialization of hip hop.
Right. Yeah. But that's the whole thing, though. No matter how you look at it.
Hey, man. We are having like mad technical difficulties. Keenan. Yeah, I lost. I didn't hear any for the last maybe like 30 minutes, 30 seconds.
You got to clip that together.
Yeah, it'll be funny.
You go doctor it. I got you.
No. Oh, I'm gonna let it rock the way it rock. But like right here at this moment, right here, right now, it's gonna snap to technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Got you.
And then
but what I was saying is, no matter how you look at it, we the only people that do it to our own people. Like, we the only people that say, oh, you 40 years old, you old ass nigga, this and that, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, a rapper can't just keep doing their music, even if they not just doing brand new stuff. They have these white artists or any other artists that their people love. They never care about their age, how much money they got, what they did last year. They don't give a damn. They can go on, like Ozzy Osbourne can go on tour right now.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Stadium sold out.
He's gonna sell out. I think, you know what I think it is? I think it was honestly the commercialization of hip hop that did that. Because think about it, everything that this world, like especially nowadays, everything that goes on in the world, like LL said, has been touched in some form or fashion in hip hop, no matter how much or how big or how small.
Yeah,
like it's going to be affected by hip hop. So when you think about it, remember when it first came out, it was, you know, the fly fashion, it was the braggadocious sort of persona that came with it. Like it was all these things that you would see come from like a young 17, 18-year-old, 19, 20-year-old man, things that we do at those ages.
right.
You
And
know,
then, but on top of that, just talking about the fashion and all of that stuff, the brands that they made popular are the ones that y'all spending thousands of dollars on now.
well, that's what I'm saying. So think about it. When these guys came out and happened to be talented on top of that,
Yeah,
they started it started to grow and become this big thing. And of course, what happens when you start to see something bubbling up? It becomes a trend. So now you got these other folks in Hollywood or these record execs or whoever looking at this and being like, oh, we see something here. Let's go ahead and market the fuck out of it. So what do? They market it in a way to where it's appealing to us, the youth.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too much a youth anymore, but at the time we were the youth. So, you know, what did the youth say? Oh, I want to be like that guy, you know, when I get older, or I just want to be like that guy, period. So a lot of these guys start writing rhymes and they become rappers.
But Adidas wouldn't be shit without hip hop.
Huh?
Adidas, they would have just been dead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's always been like, once it became commercialized, it's always been marketed as a culture for young people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we also got to keep this in mind. Hip hop is only a genre it's only 50 years old.
Right.
So it hasn't been around as long as a lot of other genres of music. So, you know, the guys who are getting old are guys who literally grew up with hip hop.
Yeah.
So in essence, it is technically a young man's game. So, but I think, I don't know. The only thing that I struggle with in that aspect is like, where was the disconnect between the rappers today and the rappers of then? Because for some odd reason, these young kids, and maybe it is that mentality, like, okay, well, it is a young man's game. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't be paying attention. Because it is hip hop. It's like, oh, if you've been gone for 2 months, you fell off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
because the only time they actually show like some appreciation, and the bad part about that is award shows, when they want to give somebody a lifetime achievement or whatever, and they need people to perform. Some of them young cats that go in there and perform some of these cats' lyrics, they don't even know who they are. I really know the lyrics. They don't even care. They just like, oh, I'm going to go get this bag and do a performance because I'm popular right now.
But I do look at it like this, even with it being a young man's game, you know, I'm just like, well, if you don't want to pay tribute to the guys who came before you, then why are you even a rapper?
Thank you. Somebody had to inspire you. And I'm seeing a couple of them. They was like Bow Wow and what's his face? You Soulja Boy. That dude. They was like, that was they OGs basically.
I mean, these kids are 20 years old and Bow Wow and Soulja Boy in their 30s. So
I get it, but at the same time, you don't have to. What I don't like about in society in general, you don't have to step on somebody and push them down to get up. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to step on somebody's back and push their face in the mud so you can be above.
No, I feel that.
You can just do what you do.
I feel like, I mean, I do feel like tribute is needed to these guys because, you know, especially the guys who came out early, because, I mean, if it wasn't for them, you know, there wouldn't be the other guys. If it wasn't a KRS-One, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there wouldn't be, well, if there wasn't a Rakim, there wouldn't be a Nas. If there wasn't a Big Daddy Kane, there wouldn't be a Jay-Z. If there wasn't, or Notorious B.I.G., you know, if it wasn't a Rakim, there wouldn't be a Tupac. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't an NWA, it wouldn't be a Game. So it's just like you got to be able to pay tribute because.
But LL Cool J is doing that now with Rock the Bells.
Yeah. You know what? People don't give LL credit. LL Cool. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
He doesn't.
In terms, not so much as not even as a rapper. I'm talking about just being a person of. I don't like to say the culture, but I'll say as a person of hip hop culture. I don't think he gets the credit he truly deserves, you know, because he has kind of been out of the limelight in terms of music, but like, you know, doing things like Rock the Bells and stuff like that just tells you that he's doing a lot of stuff, you know, to try to keep not only the artists from the 80s and 90s or whatever alive, keep their careers alive or kind of keep them and keep their names going, but just for the fucking
pretty much everything he has done in his career is towards hip hop.
Rock the Bells is basically the Essence Fest of hip hop,
which people need to support. But that's the bad part about it. 100%. When you look into the crowd, who do you see there?
Well, at the hip hop shows,
any of them.
It's usually like a bunch of white people.
Yeah. Kids who continue to keep their legends up. Now they're bringing these legends up, and they are the ones that's holding that portion of it, because you hear these artists now, when they do their interviews, they say, when I look in the crowd, I don't see us. I only see the white kids and this and that. And it gives them this power. It's like, it gives them that same power where they feel like they can say nigga in songs because they the ones who they're supporting and stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't support or whatever. That's how FUBU died. Because black people said that shit old, man. Nobody rock that shit no more. Bro, if they kept FUBU going, it'd be one of the highest marketing things around.
Don't even get me started on that, talking about like how FUBU died, because I think that's just something that's just really, that's a really shitty mentality to have.
Yeah.
It's old, it's not fashionable no more, and all this, that, and the other. Okay, well, that's just whack. Why? So you can look fancy and rich? If y'all really thought about it, rich people don't even look rich. Real rich people,
no, they
don't look rich. They
not even, I don't even think it's that. It's because hell, Kanye got people paying $800-900 for a shirt that looked like 45 different people wore it.
And what is Kanye?
Yeah, but they'll buy it to look raggedy. And FUBU wasn't raggedy. So that's the whole thing. But we just decided, it's old. We're not going to wear it no more.
Because it's Kanye. But here's the thing. Okay, I think this is maybe a theory, but here's my thing about Kanye in that aspect. Kanye understands that trends only go for so long. And Kanye being the person that he is, once that shit goes away, trust me, he's going to find something else to do to get people on. Kanye is actually, you know, people don't, this is an unpopular opinion, but people really don't give him the credit or the respect that, I'm not going to say that he deserves, but like, nobody's really listening to what he's saying or paying attention to what he's actually doing. Now, I ain't talking about like the Trump shit, you know, whatever. And even in that, I'm just kind of like, well, if that's who you support, that's your issue. That ain't mine. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's because I don't even agree in debating politically, because I don't have a loyalty to any side, really and truly.
You shouldn't have one.
But I think when I listen to Kanye talk, I just see a dude who happens to just be himself. And
Go ahead.
And people will say, oh, well, he's talking like this, he's crazy. That's the first thing people want to say, you know. But I do remember watching the little documentary, and Kanye is the way he is because he had that relationship with his mom. His mom was like his number one fan, and she basically taught him to be, hey, look, the world is gonna be the world. They're gonna look at you, they're gonna say things about you. All you need to do is walk in your truth to stand in your truth. Now, I'm not sitting here advocating for Kanye, but what I am saying is that from what I can tell, he's just somebody that's just not afraid to just speak his mind and be who he is. But people will say, oh, he's mentally insane or whatever. But I mean, really and truly, aren't we all to some degree?
Yes, and I'll take that.
You know,
at the end of the day, you can bitch and complain about it all you want to.
Yeah.
But if you making this kind of money, connections, relationships, resources, you got all of this stuff, start your own shit.
Facts. That's true.
You want to become partners with a company that we made billionaires.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Don't you, if you really want to put it in perspective like that and say, okay, he got this influence, he got all that, wouldn't it be smart to get a couple of people that you know that's gonna put in, y'all get your own company, and y'all take all of them resources away, and that shit gonna come to you? Wouldn't it make more sense?
No, I agree.
So then stop bitching about it and just do it. We do it with everything else. But that's what I'm saying. But the bad thing is when FUBU did it, it died. Kanye can actually do something that people go rock with regardless. Even though I don't like his designs and stuff, because them Yeezys, I don't give a fuck what y'all say.
Those shoes ugly as hell. Those shoes ugly as hell. But that's just an opinion.
They know people are gonna buy them because they're exclusive and everybody don't have them and blah blah blah. But take it away from them, because you've been in the board meetings, you've been to all of this stuff. You know the ins and outs of it at this point.
So now take that and apply it to your own movie.
You get the backing and you good to go.
Yeah. And you're a billionaire, bro. Like, there's nothing that can stop you from doing that. But nah, I 100% agree. I have nothing to say against that at all. I agree 100%.
That's where it should be with a lot of things or whatever. And that's one of the reasons why I watch Big John. He's been doing a lot of clips on YouTube and having his little short stories and stuff, and they all funny. His production, was what he can do at the moment. But now, like he did the lesbian homie, right?
I remember that.
10 episodes in the best way he could. But now he then started elevating, doing what he needs to do. He's starting a part 2 of it.
Mm-hmm.
Production value is top notch.
Yeah.
Clarity, story writing is different. It's actually like, instead of these little skits, he's turning it into a story.
Mm-hmm.
To where you can make a movie about this shit or a series or whatever. And it's dope as hell to watch him being like, I'm just gonna do it myself.
Yeah, it's better to do it yourself. It's one of those types of things where, and I say it all the time, and this is something I had to actually learn like not very long ago, is that when you do stuff like this, the goal, I think, and I hate the word influencer. I hate that word. But to become somebody on that level, you have to realize that you can't cater to. Your goal is not to cater to everybody. You just cater to the people who fuck with you, whoever that may be. Just like this podcast. I don't expect everybody to follow this podcast. I could give 2 shits. I just know that at the end of the day, the conversations that we're having, somebody's gonna jump on and be like, you know what, man, I kind of fuck with that. I like what y'all saying right now. Right. And I agree. And I be thinking about that shit sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
And just before we keep going, man, I want to give a shout out to somebody. It's this dude that worked. He don't work with the same company as me, but he worked at the same facility.
Mm-hmm.
Older dude, straight hippie type dude or whatever, but he cool as shit. He has been one of the people who was like supported before we even started the podcast.
Wait, repeat that.
He's been a guy that's been supporting before the podcast even started.
Okay.
His name is Anthony, and I want to give him a shout out because he's like always coming up to me saying, "Hey man, did you watch this? What you think of? I want to hear y'all perspective on this. I want to hear y'all perspective on that." And that's even before he even seen you, because I work with him. Yeah. He would just like sit at the smoke pen with me and we'd chit chat and stuff. And he's like, I like that. I want to hear more. He like movie reviews because he always asks me about Marvel movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just give him my honest opinion about it. And he really appreciated it. So you're gonna start noticing that he's gonna be in the comments putting stuff in there for us to review. So I want to give him a shout out to being one of the biggest, one of the first supporters.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I said I got a couple people on my end that are showing some love too. I got an old coworker named shout out to Joe Jones.
Yeah. What up, Joe?
He's been pretty supportive here in these last couple episodes, because he'll even go into Facebook comments and be like, "Hey, I'm glad y'all talking about things that nobody really talks about, but like these things still exist." And then I got one of my friends from Neo Soul Cafe, Tasha. She been showing a lot of love too. Yeah. So like it's good to know that, you know what I'm saying, the shit is getting out there, even though nobody watching it right now. But people are all watching this.
And shout out to MJ, man. You know what I'm saying? That's our homie. We've been knowing him for over 30 years. I've been knowing him a very long time. Man, it's crazy to even think that it's been like that long or whatever. But it's been well over 30 years that we've been knowing this dude.
Man, time is a bitch.
Yeah. But it's cool though.
It is cool. I'll be sitting there thinking about some weird shit about that though. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say my age, but I'm old enough, right?
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, safety purposes, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Not hiding it. But I always think like, okay, so I'm almost this age. I start thinking, man, I got maybe about another. Look, maybe I am about to get my age about.
Right.
I got like another 30, 40 years left in me. You know,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to think how people in their like 60s be thinking. Like, dang, man, like you start to look at life a little different. You start to like live a little more. Like,
right, but we've talked about this already, and that's what I'm saying, man. Like, okay, I met these cats at work, man. I see them every day, talk with them and everything. They had one dude, you could tell he's an older guy, but when he told me his age, I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Dude looked like he about 57, 58-ish.
Yeah, that was very specific, by the way.
I know. But when he told me, he was like, he's 69.
That's good.
He's moving around, talking, having a good time. Don't miss a beat. Brain still working. Hands still work. Motor skills good. He's not sluggish. None of that stuff. It's amazing to see people that still move around like that. So that's still a mentality.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Age is only. Well, I would say age ain't nothing but a number, but that shit got R. Kelly in trouble. But it really is kind of just a fucking number.
yeah, in perspective.
in a much more not so that perspective.
Yeah, we don't want to go there, bro.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, we talked about him last episode.
Anyway,
I'm not fixing to kick him down any more than he's already been kicked.
Nah, I can't do it.
But yeah, man, I really do be thinking about shit like that, man. That's just, I don't know. It's just crazy how like time works, and it just seems like I don't know. Why did it seem like it goes so? Why did it seem like it went so slow when you were in school? But then, like right when you get that diploma, it's just like holy shit! Like 20 years then passed.
Yeah, you know? Man. Like those who don't know, I work in a refinery.
Yeah.
Shut down. They call it turnaround where you work every day of the week for 12 hours of that day for a short period of time, which seems long when you say it, because like the one I'm about to do is like 4 weeks. So we're looking at a whole month where I'm gonna be working 7 days a week, 12 hours.
Right.
But then it's just a month. It just sounds bad. But then we were like, man, the last time we did a shutdown in this unit was in 2016. That felt like yesterday.
Yeah. Man, time flies, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was 6 years ago.
Yeah. No, it definitely. I mean, even like here, like we moved here to Houston 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And it feels like, because I really still don't fully know my way around, like it feels like I've only been here like a couple years.
I still feel like y'all got married 3 months ago.
Yeah, we've been married for almost 10 years, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But it feels like it's been like, no, they just got married not the other day.
Yeah. But no, it's tricky how it all. But it always shows. It's always most evident in children. Yeah. Like for instance, like with Cam.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't mean to say well.
Hey, it's fine. I just said it before.
But it's evident in him. Like I would remember being there the day he was born, and all of a sudden now he's in college.
Yeah.
So
and just within that or whatever, it feel like he's been gone for a long ass time. He's been gone 3 months.
He only been gone for a couple months. He just started college.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So trying to adjust into it or whatever is, it is what it is. But it feel like it's been long, but it ain't been.
There was something. I think I wrote it down. There was something I wanted to talk about, or maybe I was thinking about it earlier. Crap. I had to look for it here on my phone, but it was really burning my brain earlier.
Yeah.
What was it? No, not that. Huh?
Put it in your notes.
I put it in my notes. Was it the Ericka Banks thing? Yeah, I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to even go there with that today.
To be honest, I wouldn't even be able to say nothing. I don't even know who the fuck Ericka Banks is.
Yeah, I feel kind of
Okay,
bad
well
about
then,
it though.
hey, problem solved.
I feel kind of bad about it though because I did work with her label boss before.
I mean, yeah, but I honestly just don't know who that is.
Yeah, I'll share more opinions as stories build on her later.
Okay, maybe I'll have to look something up. But right now,
she was the one that was twerking at the high school.
Oh, that chick.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, we can discuss it or whatever. Okay. I just didn't know her name. But yeah. Okay. So I saw the video and she was twerking on high school guys. Now, I wouldn't say twerking in front of.
In front of them, right.
And the kids were going wild. Everybody had a good time. And I saw people who didn't like what she did, but then it was just kind of like, I don't care. And then that's pretty much it.
Okay, people didn't like what?
They didn't like what she did.
Right.
And they voiced their opinions and she didn't care. She was just like, I didn't touch them, so it is what it is. No big deal.
Right.
If we were to reverse that at all, at any point, and have some dude in there gyrating.
Talking about check out the nunchuck.
Yeah, sure. Gyrating, doing all this stuff in front of a group of cheerleaders.
He'd have been under the jail.
Okay with that.
He'd have been under the jail. He would have got arrested.
They would have had an angry mob, with all their guns and pitchforks coming through there to really kill this dude in front of everybody and would not give a shit.
Yeah. Well, you have that situation, but then there was another situation where she said that when she wants to go to the club, and granted, you know what, that's her opinion, that's her life or whatever. I just think it's, me personally, I think it's kind of stupid. But she said that when she goes to the club that she only wants attractive, thick females with her. And it's like, but you're not naturally built that way. Like, you had all the shit done to you.
She got the fake body.
The BBL.
Got that fake body.
The BBL. But it's just like, what kind of standard is that?
Dude out here, man.
Yeah, it's just like, what kind of, how shallow is that to think that way? For one, not only just to make that statement, but two, like, you ain't even built like the girls that you don't want. You're naturally built like the girls that you don't want in the club with you. The way that you're built now is all paid for. So, what are you bragging about?
There's a double standard when it comes to that or whatever, because a chick can do anything she wants to do to her body and it's perfectly fine. It's her body, her choice. If I was to tell people right now, your beard fake as fuck, and you just ripped it off, you get clowned all day long.
But it's always been like that though.
Right. But it's something as simple as that. Even though I still think that's kind of weak to have a fake ass beard. But what I'm saying is, like, you would get dragged. The people will clown you for ages behind that. But you can have a BBL and everybody's like, no, it's fine. This is her body.
Yeah. And like I say, that's you. That's fine.
But why would you want to do this knowing that women are actually dying having these surgeries, bro?
Like, no. I don't even. Me personally, whatever. That's how you do. But I just think that it's just kind of fucked up to like tell somebody that they can't be in your vicinity because they don't have that.
Right.
I just think that's a little shallow to me. It's just like, okay, well, you live how you want to live. You spend your money how you want to spend your money. You do with your body what you want. That's your decision. But don't clown somebody else because they choose not to do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because for one, this is a full-on message to a lot of women out here in the world. Men really don't give a shit about your fake body. They just want to use it. That's about it. True. Other than that, we prefer natural bodies. Natural almost everything.
Nah, not rich guys. Not those rich guys that own them crazy companies. They buy their women fake bodies.
But then that's when you
But they're
talking
also very superficial too.
right. You're talking to this super like there's only one demographic of people or whatever who swap them women out left and right because they all the same person. We talking about normal everyday people.
Right.
Yeah, we would prefer you to be natural.
I agree. Most guys, ladies, the guys love you. You're beautiful the way you are.
That's it.
You ain't got to do all the extra, but hey, it's your life. Live it. I hope it makes you feel better.
Yeah, but that's why they say dumb shit like they see 600-pound life and them women be having dudes. They be having husbands and stuff like that or whatever. But
somebody smashing.
That's what I'm saying. Because they be like, I don't care. I like her. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's stuff that you just kind of have to let go one after the other. Because at the end of the day,
that's where we at now. So
you date people for you. You don't date people. If you dating people if you let somebody's comment about who you date or who you with affect your relationship, then you're really dating the other people. You're not dating the person you with.
Right.
Trying to impress them. But that's just it's anything in life. Huh?
It's fake.
Yeah. It's just what it is. But it's a weird way. Of course, most people don't think that way. It takes a deeper level of thinking to understand that at the end of the day, the things that make us happy in life, are very, 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 very simple. And it doesn't require any else. Everything in order to find peace. I know, like I said, I don't want to say believe, but I don't want to call it happiness because happiness can be very romanticized some days. But to find peace, it's all internal. It's everything else is not even important. It's just so much shit that don't matter that we stress and worry about, and it's just like there's no point in what the fuck are you worried about?
Because we all looking at the next person wanting to do what they're doing,
seeking approval. And,
we all know we're not gonna be able to do none of that stuff.
It's seeking approval and trying to please. So we're afraid of making people mad. Right. We're afraid of having people be disappointed in us because of the choices we decide to make, not realizing that the choices that you make affect you, not them at the end of the day. So.
Right. So, okay. So for one, people always not people, a lot of women get upset whenever I say stuff like, I personally still want to get married. I've never been married. I want to be married. Yeah. But I could care less about a big lavish wedding,
right?
Because I'm not marrying all these people that's coming to the wedding just to be in awe and we want to stun on,
right?
I just want to be married to you and then live a happy, healthy life. Then I've seen a lot of people who go and spend $40,000-$50,000 on a wedding, and then they get a divorce in 2 years.
Yep.
And then I've seen people who went to the courthouse, got married, and matching outfits. They were happy as shit.
Yeah.
They were good.
Because it's called traditional thinking. And people who think traditionally usually have a pretty fucking closed mind. So they don't think about they think that the things that we do in life are supposed to be of some sort. It's systematic, right?
Right.
It's like you go to school.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to go to school, then you're supposed to go to college, then you're supposed to get this high-paying job, then you're supposed to get the nice house, then you're supposed to get the nice car, and you're supposed to get all these different things. And it's like, okay, but when you're doing all of this, are you doing it for you? Or are you doing it to make other people happy? Even when it comes to your family.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, whatever's for you is for you. It's not for everybody else to do. So, if I don't we got to stop pushing the idea of that everybody has to be a doctor, a lawyer, a engineer and all this other stuff. Shit, plumbers get paid.
They get paid.
Plumbers get paid.
They take a lot of my money.
Landscapers get paid. Barbers get paid. Photographers get paid. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has that's why we have so many different professions and all these other different things, because we all have to be able to offer something to the world to make the world a better place. And I don't think a world full of doctors, lawyers, and engineers will make the world go round.
Well, on top of that, saying that you're an entrepreneur, I don't knock nobody for trying to go ahead and do what they need to do, but just throwing it out there as a title, like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. Everybody automatically thinks that you're just out here making boo.
That's not. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all firsthand. Entrepreneurship is not as pretty as the way it make it seem. Just because you go out and go get paperwork and documents and all that other shit done doesn't mean that you will succeed. Entrepreneurship is not about. First and foremost, entrepreneurship is not about money. Let's get that out of the way. Really and truly, running a business in general is not about money. You'll think that at first because ultimately the bottom line is to sustain a living for yourself, but that's not what it's about. What it really is about is being able to solve problems for other people and bring value to it. I'm gonna kind of steer away from that in a little bit because when people start talking about when people do have a dream and they do want to go out and start a business for themselves, the first thing people will say, "Oh, you can't go out and go do that. There's so many of this. This industry is saturated with this with this type of people." Like me as a photographer, people will say, "Oh, there's too many photographers out there." Okay, but there's also a million rappers out there, and yet people still become successful rappers.
Right.
There's a lot of movie actors out there that go out and make millions of dollars doing acting. So, it's not about the product. It's about how you offer that product and what makes your product different from the rest. Yeah. Because everything has its own unique spin. So when you go out there and you try to do what somebody else is doing, like to the T, you're not going to be great. And that's the thing, is that in certain worlds, there's always these trends. These trends come through and people want to follow the trend, not realizing that, okay, well, they can really go get that anywhere. What can you do with your product or service that makes it yours?
Right.
And make it better. I mean, that's so much better, but what makes it yours? That's how you get value
around a lot, because they just feel like it adds value to you if you say you're an entrepreneur.
No, entrepreneurship is not.
I've seen plenty of them that are just not doing well.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing,
No, because they're gonna eventually get it, but it doesn't mean like soon as you say it, like, because now I see a lot of these little online these dating podcasts. And the first thing people say is, "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur," and then they like, "Oh, okay." You have no idea what they selling. You didn't ask them what they doing. None of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to be an entrepreneur, but it's hard as hell to be an entrepreneur.
You just got to put in the work, and a lot of people don't want to do it. They just want to have the title.
Yeah. And I'll say this first and foremost, because we all, like, a lot of, believe it or not, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, those who become successful go through, it's almost a similar pattern. Everybody's journey is unique, but everybody goes through a similar pattern. Oh, I got to go start this and I'll be successful. But then you start to learn your lessons. You realize that it's not that easy. So you have to kind of like fall a few times. Like, you have to fall a few times and then pick yourself up. And then when you pick yourself up, you run into another challenge, and then that challenge is going to knock you down. And then you find a way to challenge that challenge. So what you're doing is you're learning everything about your brand. And it's not even learning about business. Entrepreneurship is really teaching you a lot of shit about yourself.
Right.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand about it, is that you really have to start looking deeper into yourself as a person and as an individual to figure out what it is that you need to do to make your business become successful. Because it's not easy. It's going to teach you things like money management. It's going to teach you things like patience. It's going to teach you things about, like, not giving a shit about what people think about you. Right. It's going to teach you all kinds of things. So, it's cool to throw the word around loosely, but you don't really know until you really test yourself.
Yeah, because if you fall, how many times are you gonna pick yourself up?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to stick with it. And they don't call it a leap of faith for nothing.
Nah, you just got to go for it.
Because when you jump, you're gonna be flapping the wings real hard and then taking those. You're not elevated. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be flapping with one wing. Look at me now. I'm distracted.
Yeah. You know it.
You're gonna be flapping your wings flapping one arm a couple times, and you're gonna even drop a few times. But like I said, you just kind of learn and learn and learn and learn, and the more you learn, that's when you start to become better. It's really just like finding it. At least for me, it's been running into mistakes, and then learning from them.
Right.
That's been pretty much it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a successful business from the jump. If you have somebody to mentor you, that's great. But a lot of us, especially in our community, we're all, for the most part, first generation entrepreneurs. So we don't have anybody to teach us how to do this thing. You just kind of have to go with it. And on top of that, you never stop fucking learning. That's the other thing that a lot of people don't understand. You know, I think to master something, people when you master something, people think that mastery means that you've completed the journey.
Yeah.
When the truth of the matter is, I think that mastery is the true understanding of whatever it is that you do in life, that you know that you're always gonna go higher. You're never really gonna master it. You know, it's just knowing that, okay, I'm great at this. How can I be greater? I'm gonna take this next step to be greater, and I'll continue to do that until whenever. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the whole thing, man. You really have to grind and do it, really put in the work, because as people, we can't just give up and just go the easy route because that's what everybody's doing or whatever, because that only lasts for so long. Right. Like if I feel like something ain't working for me, my life ain't gonna be like, oh, it's not working. Let me go twirl my junk in a circle at a club so I can make some money or whatever.
A nunchuck.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to be a toot out here, man.
Yeah.
But like that, because that only lasts for so long.
Yeah. But then even on top of that, there's the flip side of that, is that I think, and this is something that a lot of people, this is what the hustle culture gets on my fucking nerve sometimes, because they have it emblazed in your mind that it's work without taking a break. And that's not how it goes. You got to have balance.
Yeah.
You got to have balance, because this thing is not easy. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I'm totally down with, like, you know, struggling and doing what you got to do to make your shit work, but don't do it to the point to where, you know, you're running yourself into the ground. Like,
and you know, lose everything around you.
Yeah. Don't shame somebody because they're calling themselves an entrepreneur, but they're still working a job. You know what I mean? Like that bugs me the most. It's like, oh, I this is just what I'm gonna struggle real hard. No, like, you can still work and still run your business. There are 24 hours in a day, and if you don't pay attention, that's a lot of time. You can, if you manage your time right, you can do all the things that you want to do. So, like, you know, it's not all about, you know, just fucking working yourself into the ground. You still gotta take a moment to, like, step back and just enjoy yourself for a moment, even if it means going buy yourself an ice cream cone, you know, or whatever. You just like, it's not all about that. So, like, I really wish a lot of people would just get out of the mindset of, you know, to be a true entrepreneur, you have to be this workhorse. That's not healthy.
No, because that's when you can lose everything, man. That's how people lose their spouse, their kids, friends, family, everything. They lose all this stuff because they want to put this as the top priority.
Yeah.
When you do that, say it, you grind and you hustled and you did all of this stuff and you made it to where you want to be at.
Right.
By the time you get there, you realize everything that you didn't take care of is gone. And now you're there by yourself.
Yeah. It's just not good for you mentally. And you can become mentally exhausted. Like, that shit will depress the fuck out of you. I think that's why a lot of entrepreneurs do face, like, that's the ugly side to it that people don't like to talk about, is that there is an ugly side to entrepreneurship. There is, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can run and you can truly get depressed. I've been there. Like, I've been severely depressed. People don't know about it, but I've been there. And so, like, you have to learn how to find ways to find that peace and laugh through it, smile through it all, and just, you know, take that grit. Like, I did the full-time thing for a while, and it wasn't easy. I had to go back to work. Now, granted, I went back to work doing something that I love to do, so it still makes me a full-time photographer, but it's just not full-time in my business. But let's not get it twisted. I'm still running my business.
So that's the whole thing. You can't just give up on everything to do this one thing.
Yeah. No, if it's something that you love, you truly have a passion for it, you're going to work for it. Otherwise, if it's solely for the money, you in it for the wrong reason.
Right.
You will be a very, very miserable person, like mad miserable. So, yeah, like, shout out to all the entrepreneurs out there. Don't throw the term around loosely, and don't let hustle culture fuck your mind up, because hustle culture will hustle culture is toxic as hell. Sorry, it is 100%. So
it's what it is.
But anyhow, we at that 1 hour and 30 minutes. I know you got to get up early, so do I.
Yeah, man.
But before we go, I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to this month's patron. We got Miss Crystal Saldana. We do appreciate you. Yes, we appreciate you for your continued support. For all those who do enjoy the podcast, make sure that you do like, make sure that you comment, make sure you share, and most importantly, subscribe. Look, man, hey. Get us to that 1,000 subscribers, man. We need 1,000 subscribers, man. If y'all out here laughing at these Facebook links, if y'all here laughing at the shit on Instagram, if you're laughing at it on YouTube, go to the Super Hadnot Bros YouTube page and hit subscribe. It may not
hit the like.
We want the subscribe. The likes are all of it. But we definitely want that subscribe. It may not mean much to you, but it means everything to us. So please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you do want to support the podcast, be sure to check out our Patreon. We got some pretty good stuff, man. Things from, exclusive content on the Patreon account to early access.
Yeah.
To the episodes, and also, once you get to a certain level, you can actually come in on the live stream and chat with us. Right here on StreamYard. So y'all be sure to go check us out on Patreon and give us support there. And I think that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else to say?
No, man, I think we all on top, man. I just want to give my shout outs earlier. So we got that out the way. We all good.
All right. Well, with that being said, we will holler at you guys on next. Well, no. I'm sorry. This Friday. Friday the 29th, 28th. 30th,
like that, whatever. Friday.
I don't know, this Friday, whatever. Yeah, no. We're recording. This is for Friday. My bad. Yeah. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all didn't hear none of that. All right, so until next time, peace.